Jason,
Hey, mate.
happy the day is over.
Yeah.
How many holes did you play?
26. It wasn't too bad, but it's just you're waiting on every hole pretty much. So it's like you're just trying to. Well, we got 4 more players than what we usually do, so you're just kind of cramming in as much play as possible, and you add some wind into the mix, and then you add like the crowds out there, which are pretty healthy. So that is a good formula for a lot of slow play, unfortunately. But I mean, I'm glad I'm in the house, and I'm just going to go rest up.
You said at Amex about getting everything back together again, and your swing changes and cementing those. With your result at Torrey and then your play through 36 so far, would you say that those are cementing pretty well?
Not really. I mean, yes and no. I feel like some weeks, the body is, reacting perfectly to, what I'm trying to do in regards to changing that certain patterns in the golf swing. And then, there's just been pretty much like a learning curve in regards to change. It's really difficult to change a swing and compete out here. I'd love to, have a swing, like a Rahm or a Rory that, is tested over time and it's been successful. But, for me, I've had to make those changes because of my body. And unfortunately, I'm just through that. I'm going through the testing phase right now of trying to change that as I compete. And that can be difficult because, you wake up, some days is like absolutely good and perfect, and some days are just, first round to second round, it's just totally different. It's amazing, but I'm just grinding away, trying to do the best job I can.
And while you're out there playing, Tiger announced he's playing next week. Is he? Yep. Get your reaction to that.
That's great. I did not. That's awesome. That's actually really good news. So I'm actually really happy about that. So it's good that he's out. He can walk, and it's nice to be able to see that. So yeah, I'm excited to see him next week, and that's going to be fun.
You've said in the past that you really sacrificed your body to get to world number 1.
Yeah.
Do you believe you can get back to world number 1 without sacrificing your body?
Yes. I know. Yeah, I do. I just feel like that it'll be just from a different place getting back to number 1. You have to have that belief in you to be able to try and at least have that as a goal. And if it doesn't pan out, then it doesn't pan out. But like that's the goal in mind, is try and get back to number 1. I feel like if I can make the changes, because I know that like when I hit shots on the range, hit shots in practice rounds, and the changes are like slowly cementing in, I would say. But like, I mean, it's funny, like I see the shots and I know that I'm like, man, there was no chance it was going to go offline. And, if I can add that in with good putting, and I feel like I've started to putt really well over this last, few months. If I can get just some sort of consistency in like the changes of the swing and the ball flight and the trajectory, and I kind of know where things are going, and I putt well, and I'm hoping to be up there each and every week. And then if that happens, it's just a matter of time before you start kind of knocking on the door, and then you kind of get one and you get another one, and you go on from there.
You've been saying that it's not quite there yet with your swing. You got to be encouraged then with the results being the way they and the scores being the way they are.
It just, the results that I had, over the last 2 years, it was just obviously a struggle with putting and the short game and other things that have gone off on the golf course and off golf course. But it's very encouraging to be able to be at 6 under and, 4 back, and currently 4 back. But, playing well at Torrey Pines and then kind of getting in the mix here with 36 holes to go.
Jace, you had that electric hole out at Torrey Pines last year where it looked like you might actually win that one. And did you actually think maybe your return to the winner's circle was maybe happening on that time frame, and now you're sort of on a different time frame?
I didn't feel like I was going to win that tournament even after I hold that shot. I was too like amped up going into 15. I was out of sync and out of comfort. I just knew that I should have brought myself down. Like I don't need to react and be excited about a shot that went. I mean, obviously it went in and it was great, but like that was the time when I go, no, I got to pull my head in, and it went in great, and just react like it was nothing, because I think if that was the case, then I wouldn't have worked myself up so much. But if I win this year, great. If I don't, then I got to keep working. I was just talking to Michael Thompson about it, and he was asking me about, do you feel like you have to work harder now just because the competition is so difficult? And I said, I don't think I have to work as hard, because I've always worked hard. I just feel like I have to be super disciplined on pretty much every aspect of my game in regards to making sure that everything is perfect. When I was younger, I could kind of get away with things not being as perfect. And, now that I'm older, I kind of have to make sure that I'm disciplined in my process.
You say you want to get back to number one. Rahm and Scheffler, two of the guys you're chasing this week, they're at the very top. They're there week in, week out.
Yeah.
You were there week in, week out, 15, 16. Do you miss all that stuff? Do you
I
miss
do.
being asked about your every single shot you hit, and whether it's good or bad?
I mean, I miss obviously talking pretty much every week and being in front of the media and playing good golf and trying to win tournaments. That's like the big thing for most guys out here. They're trying to get in contention. Like, you miss those feelings on Saturdays and Sundays, and typically when I'm in the mix on Sundays, I get no sleep that night, and I miss that. You know what I mean? I've been sleeping quite nicely over the last 2 years, and that's on like a Sunday night, and that's not what I want to do. I want to have no sleep.
Jason, I was talking to Como earlier, and I'd love to hear more specifically about some of the stuff you're working through in your swing and what you're hoping to accomplish.
So, over the last couple of days, I've been talking about shallowing the club. It's just, unfortunately, like, I was doing it a little bit wrong over the last couple of days. I was just kind of getting the club stuck underneath me and extending up and just shallowing it from all the wrong reasons, I would say. But we did a lot of work, body work, for a year and a half, just trying to get the body motion correct. And then now it's like all like the small little, kind of like the minutiae of like small, like tiny little changes that are really difficult to make. Like keeping the left arm internally rotated at impact, but also just making sure that the forearms kind of turn over, but keeping that left arm in and the right arm underneath. But then it's all about like release pattern stuff and, getting it up and out of the way. And I could talk for hours and hours. I mean, I'm so obsessed with the swing and like getting it to a certain point that like I call Como at 1 o'clock in the morning just because I've like got an idea. But I think things are progressing in the right way. Right now, I've just got I have to deal with like kind of a wipey fade, and that's okay. I'm okay with that. But at some point, if I can get the release pattern the way that I want it to, it'll come out like kind of like more like a John Rahm bullet fade, which would be nice. But I feel like there's a lot of work left to do.
From first round to second round overall, it seems like this golf course has been very scoreable in the second round, much more so in the first. I know you said you played 26 holes today.
Yeah.
When did you feel this golf course become a little more gettable as far as low scoring?
Well, the boys yesterday morning, they had a tough round of it. I mean, obviously there was a ton of wind, and we came in the afternoon, like later in the afternoon, it kind of died down, and we got a little bit of wind this morning, but we had the better side of the draw. And I just think guys are starting to, the greens, I mean, the whole golf course is in perfect shape. So the greens are in perfect shape. The guy, like, pin location, I mean, it's just set up for like kind of gettable. I wouldn't say that it's like crazy like low scores out there, but it's set up for like the 4s and 5s. If you can kind of just chalk those up over the next 4 days, and you're going to be not too far away from winning the tournament.
Yeah. And what was your approach when you felt that the golf course was ideally set up for a bit more scoreable rounds?
Trying to hole some more putts would be nice, but I missed 3 makeable putts, and that would have put me 1 back currently. But it is what it is. I just got 2 more days. Things especially here, things happen pretty quick.
Jason, how did you?
Thanks.